Hey, what's up, musers? This is John at Muse for You, here to help you build awesome websites without code. And in the previous video I went over the XCode application to help you develop or to help when developing a responsive website. So I just wanted to make a quick tip. It's going to be under 5 minutes on using the XCode application. So I have XCode right here. So if I click on it, it'll open up here, and in the previous video I said you had to kind of create a file. You actually don't even need to do that. You can just go to Xcode, go to Open Developer Tool, and click on Simulator. Now the Xcode, and I probably should have said this at the beginning, but Xcode allows you to simulate any iPhone device and any iPad device. So it actually simulates it. So it creates the iPhone with like all of its programming and everything right on your computer. So it's a simulator in that sense. So here I have the iPhone 5S, and if we go to hardware, we have device, we have iOS 9.3, iPhone 4S, iPhone 5, 5S, 6, 6 Plus, 6S, 6S Plus, iPad 2, iPad Retina, iPad Air 2, and iPad Pro. So I can select any of these devices and simulate these devices on my computer. So for instance, if I go to, I'll open up my web browser, and if I go to my shop here, and I'll click on the hover reveal social card, I'll click on preview, and I'll copy this URL right up here. So I'll hit Command C, and here if I hover my mouse, we can see the hover reveal social card with my mouse here, but here I'll copy the URL, so I'll hit Command C to copy. Then I'll go back into the simulator here, and I'll open up Safari, so it's right down here. It opens up Safari. Now the first thing I have to do is hold down Command V to paste, and then click once and then paste. For some reason, if you just try to do paste first, it won't paste it in right away, so you have to do Command V to paste, and then click once and then paste, and it'll paste the URL. And here I'll hit enter. And here I have the website on the iPhone 5S. Now with iPhone, because it doesn't hover, I click and it shows the hover reveal there. Looks good. And if I click, like let's say I click on Twitter, it'll take me to the Twitter, my Twitter here. And I can either go to hardware and click on home to go back. It'll bring me back to the home page. I can click there, or again, I can click and paste the URL and go back here to this page. So as we can see, it's a really useful way to test your website on mobile devices. And if I wanted to, I could go to device and I could change it, let's say, to an iPhone 6S here. And it'll change kind of the size and everything there. So it almost looks like, you know, there's a device on my computer because it's loading the iOS and everything for the iOS. Okay, so once it's loaded, here I'm on an iPhone 6S. And I'll go ahead and click on Safari. It brings up Safari, and I'll try to paste in here. It actually won't let me, so I'll first do Command V, then I'll click once and then paste, and then it pastes in there. Let's try that again. Paste, and oops, there we go. Okay, I'll hit enter, and there we have it on an iPhone 6S. As I can see, I mean, on an iPhone 6S, I must have not aligned these correctly. So those are things you can just look out for, because it doesn't look perfectly centered on an iPhone 6S. There's a few other things, and so I might go back and actually realign these here. So these are really useful tools, can really help with your design, making sure you have everything kind of in the correct place on different devices. So it looks good there. And a few other things, you can rotate, let's say I can rotate the screen, and just like that I have a different screen orientation. And I can go back like this, and just like that. Looks good. So you can see the different orientations of the screen. Yeah, you can go to the home screen, reopen it, changes the orientation there. Let's see a few other things. You can reboot it. You can do a shake gesture. I'm not quite sure what that does, but I guess when you shake a device, sometimes it does things. So I'll go ahead and let's preview an iPad Pro, the last preview here. As we can see, it's really large. Now this is too big. I mean, it's like taking up my entire screen. It's almost like a computer. So let me switch the device one more time to something a bit smaller, maybe an iPad 2. There we go, that's a bit better. Okay, so here I'm on an iPad 2, so I'll open Safari, and again, Command V, and then I'll click once and then paste and hit enter. And just like that, I can check on an iPad 2. I'll do that. So you click and drag to kind of simulate a touch and dragging feature there, but it looks good. So yeah, let me rotate this so you can rotate it as well and check it out that way as well. All right. So one last thing I'll go over is, let's say you're building a site in Adobe Muse. So I actually have that site here in Adobe Muse. And if I go to File, Preview Page in Browser, it'll render the page. And here I can copy the URL right up here. So I'll hit Command C to copy, then I'll go back to Xcode. And here I'll do Command V to paste, and then click, and then paste. So it's pasting the localhost or the website on my computer. And if I hit enter, it'll still work. So as you're developing, you can paste the localhost URL that's right in here when you preview, and then as you're developing, you can just simply hit refresh. So if I make a change, like let's say I were to go into this widget and change the effect background color to, let's say, kind of the screen color here, and if I go to File, Preview Page in Browser, we can see it's green, the background is green, and all I have to do here in Xcode is hold down Shift to clear the cache and hit refresh right up here. And then if I click, it is now that green color. So you can just kind of work and really see how your website will look on these devices. So that's it for this tutorial. It's probably a little over 5 minutes, but I did want to go over this. There's a lot of great features in Xcode. You know, you can rotate the device, you can choose from all these iPhones and iPads here. You can go back to the home screen, you can lock the device, reboot it, and a few other options here. So that is Xcode. It should be in your applications if you have a MacBook or an iMac. If you don't have it, you can just go to the App Store and just type in Xcode and install it, and then you just open it, go to Xcode, and then go to Open Developer Tool and Simulator, which is right up there. So my App Store should have opened, so let's go back in there. So in the App Store, you just type in Xcode, and then it's this first one here, it's Developer Tools. So that's it for this video tutorial. Hopefully that was all clear. I know I jumped a bit when I was working on those different devices, but yeah, you can just paste any link, and again, you have to do Command V to paste, and then click once and then paste that way. When you first hit Command V, nothing is going to happen in Xcode, but like for instance, if I do Command V, nothing happens, but I click once and then paste, and it pastes the URL in there. I'll hit enter and good. So here we go. On the iPhone 5S, I didn't see the back button, but maybe because I didn't look. Let me try that real quick. So here I'm on my iPhone 5S. Let me go in here. And yeah, the back button isn't here, but if I rotate it, let's see if it shows. It doesn't really, it shows up down here. Okay, good. So let me try that, rotate left. Yeah, it doesn't quite show up down here. I would have to change kind of my resolution, but yeah, you can just play with that. If you did need to go back to the home page, if you didn't need to go back to the home page, you could just go to hardware and click on home. It'll take you back to the home page, or you could repaste the link right in here, just like that. All right, looks good. So that's it for this video tutorial on using Xcode developer tools. It's a great way to kind of test your website on different iPhone devices and iPad devices. So that's it for this video tutorial. Again, I do this to help you build awesome websites without code. If you like this video tutorial, you can subscribe below. Also in the show more section below are links to other resources and links to museforyoushop.com. The hover reveal social card that I kind of demonstrated in this tutorial can be found at museforyoushop.com. So again, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video tutorial. Thank you.